Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Microsoft Pulse. You're here with Tamara Bredemus and Tom Duff, and we're here to walk you through the Microsoft roadmap so you can find out what's new, what's changed, and more importantly, how it's going to affect you. Now, the roadmap is broken down into 4 sections. There's in development, meaning Microsoft is working on it. There's rolling out, which means it's just starting to sprinkle out into the tenants. And then there's launched, meaning everybody who is in the specified tenant should have this feature. And then we've got a few sad ones, not this week, in canceled or, yeah, just canceled.
Wah, wah, wah.
Cancel or duplicated.
Yeah.
So let's get started. We're going to try to weed out the stuff that we have covered in previous weeks. So hopefully this will be a short show. Let's start with Tom. Tom, what do you have in development?
Okay, I will try to stick with the Copilot stuff because there was actually some other things I found cool, but I need to know you have to have something.
Yeah.
So for one, Copilot, Frontier and Microsoft Agent User Request approval flow in Microsoft 365 Admin Center. So for admins, agents in the Frontier program can be managed through the Admin Center. They're listed under the Agents and Connectors tab in the Copilot control system, where you can view all the agent inventory for your organization. Agents built by Microsoft and available in the Frontier program will be displayed in the Agent Store. This feature will support users to request these agents if blocked by organizational policy. Admins will have the opportunity to further approve and reject these user requests. Hashtag Copilot Control System. That is coming out in March, and that is coming out to the worldwide standard tenant. Then moving down a little bit further, I think this one's really cool if it works the way I hope it does, and that is you can create videos from the Clipchamp start page using Copilot. So users can use Copilot to create videos directly from the Clipchamp start page. Turn a simple prompt or existing document into a polished video in minutes. Copilot will automatically draft a script, selects visuals, adds narration, and assembles the video for you. No video editing experience required. Yay. Review, refine, and export your video quickly all in one flow. I think that will be great for some of the people that need to create these short videos, but they really don't know how to stitch videos together or, script it, or they don't like their voice attached to it or whatever. That's coming out in April, and that will be coming out to Clipchamp and Copilot for the worldwide multi-tenant. Then if we control down a little bit further, Microsoft Edge auto open Copilot side pane for Outlook links. So when a user opens links from Outlook, Microsoft Edge can automatically open the Copilot side pane to provide contextual insights and actionable suggestion chips. Okay, that's a word. Based on email and destination content, such as highlighting key points, so on and so forth. So this makes it a lot easier to remain productive in Edge while you're working in a different thing such as Outlook. Again, worldwide tenant coming out in May. Then we have Copilot can edit your document by default in Word. I think this is really cool. The default chat experience with Copilot in Word now allows Copilot to directly edit your document. All changes made by Copilot are fully reviewable and reversible, and users can turn this experience off if needed. It used to be that you try to do changes like that, like in Excel or something. It goes, great, I made your changes, download the new document here. Like, I don't want 15 documents while I'm working through this. Can you just make it in the document that I have here? Well, now you're going to be able to do that. That's coming in March to the worldwide tenant. And then I'm going to let you go ahead and cover things now, and then I will pick up anything that you don't.
Okie dokie, Smokey. Well, a couple of these we've already talked about, but I've had some thoughts on them.
Uh-oh.
So, like Microsoft Teams automatically update your work location via your organization's Wi-Fi. So when users connect to their organization's Wi-Fi, Teams will soon be able to automatically update their work location to reflect the building they're working from. This feature will be off by default, and tenant admins will discuss whether to enable it and require end users to opt in. This to me is a little bit like employee tracking, and y'all know how I feel about employee tracking. It should be done by the manager, and it should be done by the work the person is providing, not where they do it, not how long it takes them to do it if they're salaried, just what is their work product. So again, this is part of the tag and release program by Microsoft.
Oh, that's great.
And then we have Outlook, delimiter setting, admin policy. Admins are going to be able to define tenant-wide the default value for the mail compose and reply setting that controls whether commas or semicolons are used to separate recipients. I don't know why that's a big thing.
Well, be really careful about that, because I know some of you think, well, commas should be just fine. Well, the problem is, in our organization, names are last name, comma, first name. So if you make that change to say, no, let's use commas as delimiters, it'll try to send an email to Duff. It'll try to send an email to Thomas. And none of them will be deliverable because it's not two people, it's one separated by last name, comma, first name. So just be careful about that, depending on how you normally have people using the to field. Because if they're getting last name, comma, first name, that could create some problems for you.
Yeah, it could. All right. Multiple phone numbers assignments to a single user. Microsoft Teams. So administrators will be able to assign multiple phone numbers, up to 10, to a single user. I think this is great if you want to be able to track calls for particular purposes. So users will be able to make and receive phone calls using any number assigned to them without switching accounts or devices. Sweet. This capability brings flexibility and efficiency to scenarios where individuals manage multiple roles, regions, or responsibilities. And that's coming out to the worldwide tenant in April of 2026. And then Microsoft Teams centralized notification settings for channels. So centralized notification settings streamline channel notification setup and management. Available in Teams settings, users have a single place to review and adjust notifications for all visible channels instead of managing each individually. And that's coming out in April. I think that'll be nice.
Yeah.
And then the new SharePoint home site experience. So SharePoint home sites are getting the following new updates: a resource web part, a new user interface to customize the SharePoint app, Viva Connections, experience for Teams, desktop and mobile, the ability to set up a new home site in the SharePoint Admin Center, and additionally, an announcements web part. What everybody wanted. And Microsoft made the news web part, and they were sad. So having an announcement web part back is really, really just exciting to me. Of course, I have no hobbies and I don't get out much. But that's coming to everybody. Everybody's getting that home site love, that homepage love, except for the DoD.
Yeah, I think it's important to read that carefully, though.
Yeah.
Because when I first read it, I'm like, oh, great, SharePoint homepages are going to be better. That's not what they're talking about. They're talking about SharePoint home sites, of which you usually have one.
Right. The intranet.
Yeah.
At the root of your URL.
Yeah. So just be careful about that. It's not like, oh, look, all my sites are going to change now. It's like, no, they're not.
Nope.
So
nope.
Understand that they're not moving your cheese a lot.
Yeah. All right. Now it's time for rolling out. What?
There may be something else I want to talk about here.
Okay. What you
But
got?
there's not, so keep going. I'm looking over, guys. I'm sure there was more stuff I wanted to talk about, but you took most of the ones that were not Copilot related. So great.
Fabulous. Let's go to rolling out. And Tom, what do you think about rolling out?
Okay, let me check here. Okay, there's not a lot of Copilot-y things here. One is enhanced Copilot memory. Copilot is now personalized with work data. So Copilot will now use Microsoft 365 graph data to provide more relevant contextual responses. Updated settings make it easier to view and manage what Copilot remembers and your personalization preferences. That'll be nice, coming out in June to the worldwide tenant. There's one more thing I'm going to mention, and then if Tamara doesn't cover it, I'll come back into the other ones. But this one
Okay.
I have waited for so long, and it's rolling out, and it actually made it to my tenant because I think it's in targeted release or early release, whatever. Anyway, rolling out in February to everybody, Microsoft Teams. Choose your enter key behavior in Teams chats. So Microsoft Teams now gives you control over how the enter key works when composing messages. You can choose whether pressing enter sends your message, like it currently does, or starts a new line, where you used to have to do shift enter to get that, making it easier to write longer messages without accidental sends, like I apostrophe VE, I apostrophe whoops. Okay, somebody else is waiting for a little bit more of a message on that one. It's in the settings. You're allowed to pick which one you want. And what's really nice is at the lower corner of the chat that you're doing, it actually says enter will create a new line, or shift enter will create a new line. So it kind of gives you a hint as to what your setting is. But I love this. I love that it's in our tenant now. And I'll be doing a Spark 1 tip on that one, along with putting out to 1 minute office magic, because I think this is awesome.
Woohoo! All right, and rolling out, I've got a couple. Update to the news page in SharePoint sites. The news page renders news items in a given site. It's typically accessed through the see all experience of the news web part. So Microsoft is updating the user experience of this page by bringing in Copilot capabilities to licensed users. So that's going to roll out. It was delayed earlier, but it is coming out now.
This will really throw you off the first time you see it, because it actually hit our tenant maybe like last week.
Yeah.
And I knew I was reading it, or was under the impression it was for the news web part, was going to do something different. And when I first went to where I thought I was going, what I hit was I thought the news web part. It actually ended up being the see all on the web part. And it takes you to what used to be lines of stories, description, story, description, story, description. Now what it does is it's just squares of like 3 or 4 stories, kind of dark, followed by another roll of 3 or 4 stories that are light, alternating all the way down, and it scrolls infinitely. And I'm like, okay, what if I want to go back to the old method? Good luck. You can't.
Yeah.
I did find that if you do create newsletter, it takes you back to that type of experience that you used to see. But yeah, the first time that hits your tenant, you're looking at it going, what? It's a little disconcerting, and it's going to throw you for a loop. I'm not sure whether I like it or not, though.
Yeah. Well, we also have simplified controls to manage external collaboration in Teams. So admins have access to the new overview page in the Teams Admin Center under the external collaboration section. This page allows admins to review and modify their organization's external collaboration settings. To make changes, admins can use a guided flow and select either the open or controlled preset modes, or choose to customize the settings. And that is coming out for GCC and worldwide. Then, oh my God, they're doing so many cool things with the SharePoint site branding um, thing. I forgot what it's called.
Thing.
Site branding governance via PowerShell, but there's also just the branding center is getting so much better. So, empowered tenant admins to centrally manage SharePoint site branding can manage the branding with PowerShell scripts. This feature enables organizations to enforce consistent branding, apply enterprise themes to individual sites. You know, you've got that one person who's like teal and hot pink.
All on one
And you're
page.
like, no. Auspicious colors in some cultures. Not so much if you're 3M and you're looking for black and yellow. So, disable custom branding. Oh, that's going to make some people so sad on specific sites, and audit branding changes, ensuring branding compliance and a unified brand experience across all SharePoint sites. I don't know how I feel about this, but it is going out to everybody. I believe that if it's a private workspace in SharePoint for just your team, for just your project,
knock yourself
and
out.
nobody outside the team is going to go there, who cares what your branding is? But if it's something where other people are going to like come to your SharePoint site and be like, wait a minute, am I still in, you know, my intranet?
Did you really mean to set Comic Sans for your entire font selection?
Yeah, there are just some things that should not be done. And then in SharePoint, OneNote usage inclusions in SharePoint Site Analytics. So with this release, usage from OneNote files in SharePoint will be included in the SharePoint Analytics metrics. Unique viewers and site visits. You will also see OneNote files appear in popular content section if a OneNote file is heavily used in the last 7 days. Refer to the more information link to learn more about the list of excluded file types. So there is some love there, but there's apparently some things that are being excluded. And then easily find unsent drafts.
This one I like.
Oh my God. I'm like, I'll be typing a response to somebody and then I'll see a squirrel.
Squirrel?
And then all bets are off.
Mm-hmm.
I said that to a friend of mine once, and she sent me to my office a toy stuffed squirrel. And I named him Sheldon.
Have.
I still have Sheldon. That's right. Sometimes I have to have a talk with Sheldon. So you can use drafts to quickly and easily find, edit, and send those draft messages.
And if you wonder where that is, it says use the drafts quick view. Those are the items you see on the left side navigation in Teams that have like mentions and things like that. There's now going to be a new one that says drafts. And if you have anything out there that you've entered something, but you haven't hit enter on it, that's going to cause that quick view to show up in bold. If you don't have anything out there that's in a draft mode, it doesn't show up at all. So it's not going to take up space and attention unless you actually have something out there, which I think is a very good way to do that.
I like that user interface design.
Yeah.
All right, now look, clear and flag actions in new Outlook. Microsoft is introducing new rule actions in new Outlook for the web and Windows to give users greater flexibility and control. This includes clear categories, clear flag, complete flag, and flag message, enabling more precise automation of message, organization, and follow-up workflows. And then I think this is a fun hashtag.
Hashtag new Outlook for Windows.
New Outlook for Windows, yes. And then I thought this was interesting. Events in the Meet app in Teams. Users can now use the Teams Meet app to discover events across their organization. All right, hang on. I'm having a meeting to discuss who's going to get laid off. Is that going to show up in this?
I think it shows up for if you've been invited to a meeting.
If you've been invited, okay.
Yeah, right. It shows up like that. I'd never used the Meet app before. So when they said this, I'm like, eh. But basically it was like, here are the 3 meetings that you're scheduled for. If you want to pick one, you can join it from that list. But it's not like an endless list of all meetings. So
nice.
You should be okay there.
So you can also track important events that are upcoming and plan and organize your own professional events. So that'll be handy. Last thing, Outlook, one-step folder sharing. What? Today, sharing a folder requires manually sharing each parent folder in the hierarchy. This is an Outlook. Outlook will simplify this by allowing users to share a folder in a single step, automatically applying the required permissions to its parents' folders. Before sharing, users will clearly see which folders, including parent folders, will be shared. This removes the manual effort while keeping users informed and in control. I wonder if it's going to do like what it does for SharePoint. When you share a file into SharePoint library, it gives you limited access so you can get through the path
to get to the
area. File, but you can't see anything along the way.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to show up.
Yeah.
But we've got until June to find out. And it's only for GCC, GCI, and DoD, which means you probably have it right now.
Yes. So. All right. What do you like in Launched?
Okay, I've been doing really well about not talking about things that you're going to talk about.
Talk about whatever you want.
Well, I've only got one, and it's not a Copilot one. It's the Microsoft SharePoint new web part for FAQs. Now, the only reason I bring this up, because we've talked about the new SharePoint FAQ page with powered by Copilot and all this kind of stuff, but they lead off the description. This is in Launched, saying, after further review, we mistakenly marked the roadmap as launched. The correct status is in development. We apologize for the inconvenience. So the fact that it's now in launched, should it have been moved back to in development, and should the status have been changed to that? Or was this originally back in development and it's finally made it to launch and they just didn't bother to update the description? So I don't know if you have this or not, but coming soon, apparently in February, you're going to be able to do an FAQ on a page based on Copilot helping you figure out what that FAQ should be. Again, you don't have to take all the questions it comes up with, but it's great if it can sit here and say, hey, here's a document about this new program, create an FAQ page on this, and it's going to give you something that looks like a really good FAQ without you having to sit there and dream up questions based on this document. So love the idea. I just don't know if and when it's coming out.
Well, it should be out now. It's launched.
In theory, but is it really launched, or is it still in development and they just didn't update the status? Or did they update the status and it finally has come from in development into launched and they just didn't bother to update the description? Either one could work.
We need some housekeeping.
We do.
Yeah. All right. Outlook, new search folder types. This is available for everybody. It's coming out in March for GCC, GCC High, and DoD. But what search folders are doing is they're being moved to the settings experience in the new Outlook for web and Windows. This improves discoverability and alignment with modern organizational workflows. In addition, Microsoft is expanding supported search folder types, including mail with attachment, old mail, and large mail, and more. Users will also gain the ability to filter search folders by specific folders, providing more precise control over how email is organized and surfaced. Hashtag new Outlook for Windows. Anything else you wanted to cover, Tom?
I just have to throw this out because whenever they have anything pertaining to this, it just makes me smile and wish it was in our regular tenet. Minecraft Education. Update v1.21.13, the Copper Collaborate and Compete update for Minecraft Education, bringing the version up to that. Yeah, I kind of really wish we had that because I know nothing about Minecraft, but it sounds like a whole lot of fun to actually do work and be able to play all day on it. So, yeah. So if you have Minecraft Education, you're getting a new updated version.
Teaches kids how to code.
Yes, it does.
Fabulous. Well, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciated having you, and I hope you found the information helpful. We'll be back next week, hopefully, with Matt Ruderman when he comes back from his sunny Palm Springs. And we'll hit you up then. Thanks so much.
You sound a little resentment there.
There was a little resentment there.
Yeah, there was a lot of resentment.
Yeah. Okay. As I wade through the snow in Minnesota. Yeah, all right. We'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye now.